All right, good evening. You are welcome to another edition of Import Export Platform Facebook Live, brought to you by 3 Trade Academy. This is a program educating listeners in various areas of international trade and providing solutions to those that want to go into that space. My name is Delia Imibo, and I work with 3 Trade Academy. I'm hoping that we'll be able to spend some time together tonight to learn as we continue our discourse on export costing and pricing. Export costing and pricing. And we're going to be looking at part 7. Part 7. Export costing and pricing, part 7. Ajakaye Alibalo Ibijoke, thank you very much for joining. Good evening, you're welcome. Enoch Ejukolem, thank you very much for joining. Good evening, you're welcome. We're continuing our discussion, export costing and pricing. We're looking at part 7. And we already started discussing Incoterms. Incoterms. I defined Incoterms in the afternoon as a set of terms, a set of trade terms, a set of contract terms, a set of delivery terms in a contract that basically separate transaction cost and risk between buyers and seller in a typical international trade transaction. It separates transaction cost and risk, so it helps individual involved in international trade transaction to be able to know where their cost end and where their risk ends and where the other party's own starts from. And I talked about the fact that the reason why we're discussing this is because of the impact it has on trade, especially as regarding pricing of trade transaction. Jesus Bride Juliana, thank you very much for joining. Good evening and welcome. And I read out the 11 Incoterms. Based on Incoterms 2010, we have 11 Incoterms. I read them out. And I talk about the fact that they are divided into 2 parts, and which are, they are divided into 2 parts, which are monomodal and multimodal. And I was emphasizing the fact that you cannot conclude on your price even when you have done all your costing. You cannot conclude on your price until you know the Incoterms, or you agree on the Incoterms that is going to be used for that transaction. OSCHAN, I don't know how to pronounce this name. OSCHAN, thank you very much for joining. Good evening and welcome. Okay, so I will start now with the first Incoterm, and that will be X-work. So what I will try to do now is to try to explain the Incoterms. When I've explained it, then I will talk about the implication for cost, and then of course pricing. Now, imagine X-works. In X-works, or EXW, Incoterm basically says, as an exporter, my risk and cost ends when I deliver the goods to a warehouse that I agree with the importer in my country. And this might be my warehouse. So that means the importer is practically picking up the good in my warehouse, take it to the port, clear the good for export in my country, take it to his own country, clear the good for import in his country, and deliver it to his own destination. So in X-works, importer is carrying a very large risk and cost, and exporter is carrying a minimal risk and cost because they are picking up the goods in his own warehouse. They are picking up the goods in his own warehouse. So clearly, in this kind of transaction, as an exporter, your cost relatively to other costs, other Incoterm will be the cheapest. In this kind of Incoterm, as an exporter, your cost for selling these goods, your price for selling these goods, will be the cheapest. When we go to the other Incoterm, and you're going to see it as the cost is increasing and building up, you're going to realize that Incoterm X-works is going to be a price at X-works will be the cheapest that exporter will be able to sell this good to the importer. Why? It's not bearing any risk. It's not bearing any cost outside the production of the goods, packaging of the goods, and loading into the container. The export clearance of the goods, export documentation of the goods, moving the goods to the airport, clearing it for export, transporting it on the sea, delivering it to the destination, clearing it for import in destination, delivering it to the final destination location of the importer will be borne by the importer. So the importer carry the whole risk. And there's another Incoterm that is similar to this for the exporter, in which exporter carry all the risk to the destination. I'm going to explain that also later on. Let's move on. Now, so ex-works price is the cheapest any exporter can ever make available. Why? Because our risk is less. So it's like I finish procurement of the goods that for the pap we ship, pick it up, deliver it to a warehouse in Nigeria, and the importer pick it up at that warehouse in Nigeria and do all the cost designation and pay me based on my quote, even in foreign currency. The next one in line is called the free carrier. The free carrier, FCA, the free carrier. By the way, ex-works is multimodal. Free carrier also is multimodal. Remember, we have monomodal and multimodal. Multimodal. What happened in free carrier? So let's imagine another scenario. The same pap we're exporting, instead of staying in my warehouse, the importer coming to pick my warehouse, I move the goods out of my warehouse. I take it to a shipping line terminal or to an airline terminal, and I deliver it to a named location within the terminal. I will also clear the good for export. I deliver it to a named location within the terminal, and I clear the good for export. Immediately I finish that, the importer then bear the cost at that terminal, move the goods from that terminal to the seaport, put the good on the vessel, transport it to the importer's country, clear it for import, and deliver it to the final destination. You notice that now I've incurred risk and cost in moving the goods from my warehouse. So let's use, for example, let's say my warehouse is in Surulere, and in ex-works, the importer pick it up in my warehouse in Surulere. But now I'm doing ex-works, I'm now moving the goods from my warehouse in Surulere to Apapa or to airport, Nako, depending on the mode of shipment. But the fact is that I'm moving it to a location outside my warehouse. So I've incurred additional cost. So for example, if my price before was, let's say, 1.3 pounds per, let's say my price is 25 pounds per carton at ex-works, 25 pounds per carton at ex-works. Now that I move it to deport under FCA, I've incurred additional cost. So my pricing will no longer be 25 pounds per carton. It might now be 27 pounds per carton. 27 pounds per carton. 27 pounds per carton. So my price is now, the price before was 25 pounds per carton, ex-works Surulere, Lagos. 25 pounds per carton, ex-works Surulere, Lagos. Now my price is 27 pounds per carton, FCA Apapa, Lilipon Terminal Apapa, 27 pounds per carton, FCA Lilipon Terminal Apapa, or 27 pounds per carton, MMA Ikeja, Lagos. 27 pounds per carton, FCA MMA Ikeja, Lagos. Muritala Mohammed, Ikeja, Lagos. Or 27 pounds per carton, Nako Ikeja, Lagos. Nako, that's the location where you actually deliver them. Nako Airport Road, Ikeja, Lagos. Now, look at what I'm trying to do. Remember in the afternoon I told you that when you are quoting Incoterm, you will quote the price. You will quote the Incoterm. When you are quoting a price, rather, in the trade transaction, either on your invoice, pro forma or final invoice, or on your contract, you will quote the price of that product. You code the Incoterm of the product and code the place where your cost ends. In this case, my cost for export, if I'm shipping by sea, ends at Lilipong Container Terminal in Apapa. For air, it ends at NACO Export Shed, Airport Road in Lagos, in Ikeja. Sorry, Airport Road in Solo, Lagos. So, I'm quoting the location where my cost end, because that's the way it's quoted. The price, the Incoterm, the location. The location is a place of port. The price, the Incoterm, the location. The location is a place of port. The price, the Incoterm, the location. The location is a place of port. FCA, free carrier. Remember, X-Words is multimodal. FCA is also multimodal. Multimodal means any other mode of transport apart from by sea. By road, by air, by rail. Sorry, I'm tired. All right. The next one. The next one is FAS, free alongside ship. 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 In this case, I'm going to move the goods not to Apapa container terminal in Lily Pond. I'm going to move it beyond the container terminal into the port at the ship side overlooking the vessel. I'm putting in a place where from there I can see the vessel, very close to the berthing point. Free alongside ship. Now, you notice something again? Initially was X-Words. My risk and cost end in my warehouse. Then I moved from my warehouse to FCA, where my risk and cost end at Lilipong Container Terminal in Ijora, Apapa area, Lagos. Then I'm moving away now to another level, where my risk and cost end when the good is delivered to the ship side in the port. My price is no longer 27 pounds, it's now 29 pounds. So my price is 29 pounds per carton, FAS Apapa Port. 29 pounds per carton, FAS Apapa Port. 29 pounds per carton, FAS. You notice my price moved from 25 pounds in my warehouse to 27 pounds at FCA to 29 pounds at FAS. This is just showing progression in cost, because then my risk and cost is no longer ending at Apapa, it's extending beyond Apapa to the port, ship side port. Responsibility continues the ship side at the port. Okay, Emmanuel, thank you very much for joining. Good evening and welcome. Ola Wuwo, Samuel Oladayo, thank you very much for joining. Good evening and welcome. FAS is a additional level of responsibility given to the exporter, who instead of dropping it at the terminal, take responsibility for moving the goods beyond the terminal to the final destination. Sorry, to the port rather of loading. To the port of loading. To the port of loading. To the port of loading. What am I trying to say exactly? That Incoterm, depending on the one you have chosen between you and your buyer, is contributing to the kind of cost you are going to incur in that transaction. It's contributing to the kind of cost you are going to incur in that transaction. And of course, consequently affect your pricing. Bolu Ariyo, good evening. Thank you very much for joining. You're welcome. The fourth Incoterm, FOB, free on board. The fourth Incoterm, FOB, pray on God. Naemeka Okere, thank you very much for joining. Good evening and welcome. Free on board. Let's go take it again. In Xworks, my risk and cost ends at my warehouse in Surulere, Lagos. In FCA, my risk and cost end at a terminal, Lilipong Container Terminal at Ijora. In FAS, my risk and cost end at the ship side within a Papa port overlooking the vessel or the berthing area of the vessel. FOB, my risk and cost ends. If you can see the paper on my hand, yeah. Let me look for some. Yes, this is my container. You can see that paper. See the container on it. My risk and cost end while the container is on board the vessel at the port of loading. My risk and cost end while the container is on board the vessel at the port of loading. Can you notice something? My risk has progressed from the ship side to on board the vessel. As I drop the container on that vessel, that ship, my risk and cost end. So what's my price now? My price now is not 25 pounds per carton, as in Xworks, not 27 pounds per carton, not 27 pounds per carton, as in FAS, not 29 pounds per carton, as in, not 27 pounds per carton, as in FCA, not 29 pounds per carton, as in FAS. My price is 31 pounds per carton. 31 pounds per carton. FOB Lagos. 31 pounds per carton. FOB Lagos. Lagos Port. FOB Apapa Port. FOB Apapa Port, Lagos. Sheye Ogumorotu, thank you very much for joining. Good evening. Sheye, I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you. You promised to come last week. I'm happy you are connected this evening. I waited for you. I didn't see you. So I'm waiting for you this week. I don't want to talk about the detail, but just know that I'm still waiting and expecting you to come around. You know what I'm talking about already. So let me move on. FOB. 31 pounds per carton. FOB Lagos. FOB Apapa Port. You notice the progression? The price, the Incoterm, the place of port. 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 My price increased again because now I'm doing FOB. My price increased again because I'm doing FOB. Why? I'm incurring additional cost of moving this container beyond the ship side to the vessel. That's an additional cost to the shipping line. So we have Xworks. My risk and cost ends in my warehouse. We have FCA. My risk and cost ends at the shipping line terminal. We have FAS. My risk and cost ends at ship side. We have FOB. My risk and cost ends on board the vessel. The next two Incoterm is very interesting. Very interesting in the sense that they have a relationship with FOB. By the way, FAS and FOB are monomodal. FAS and FOB are monomodal. What that means is that FAS and FOB can only be used on sea. FAS and FOB can only be used on sea, but waterways. If I have a contract that does not involve, that I'm looking for the Incoterm to use rather, when me and the buyer agree on where the risk and cost ends, what will determine if it's going, the final Incoterm is how are we shipping it? Is it by air, by road, by rail, or by sea? The next Incoterm is CFR. So we have done the E series, X works. We have done the F series, FCA, FAS, FOB. Now we are on the C series, where we have the CFR, CIF, CPT, CIP. CFR, CIF, CPT, CIP. CFR. Mathematically, CFR is equals to FOB plus transport to destination. Mathematically, CFR is equals to FOB plus transport cost to destination. Mathematically. FOB, what's FOB? Value of the goods plus profit. Value of the goods plus profit is FOB. That FOB plus freight is equals to CFR. FOB plus freight is equal to CFR. So let's look at it. My risk is still ending on board the vessel, but now I'm incurring cost of transport to destination. And this is exactly what we do for export. We incur the cost and risk to destination because of the fact that we do CFR. My price then will be 34 pounds per metric ton, per carton, CFR Apapa. 35 pounds per carton, CFR Apapa port. CFR Apapa port. 35 pounds per carton, CFR Apapa port. My price moved from 25 to 27 to 29 to 31 to 34. Can you see the progression in price? I'm trying to show you how the pricing is going to change because of the changes in dynamics of a trade transaction. So when you are agreeing on an Incoterm, you need to be sure of your responsibility, your risk, your cost, to be able to ensure that at the end of the day, anyone interested in dealing with you will be sure you have a good understanding of what the Incoterm is all about. Like I said, that's laid to rest the challenges between importer and exporter when anything happens in transit, and make it easier for you to negotiate your contract. CIF. CIF is another Incoterm. This Incoterm mathematically is equals to CFR plus freight. What is CFR? FOB plus freight. What is CIF? CFR plus not freight, insurance. What is FOB? What is CFR? CFR is equal to FOB plus freight. And what is CFR? FOB plus freight. What is CIF? CFR plus insurance, or FOB plus freight plus insurance. FOB plus freight plus insurance. Olaiwola Abiodun, thank you very much for joining. Good evening, you're welcome. FOB plus freight plus insurance. 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 That is the mathematical cost of CIF. Now, let's go over it again. X was 35 pounds per carton. X was Surulere, Lagos. FCA 27 pounds per carton. FCA Lillipond Container Terminal Apapa, or Lillipond Port, Lillipond Terminal. Then free alongside ship, £29 per carton. FAS Apapa Port, free on board. Free on board. £31 per carton. FOB Apapa Port. £31 per carton. FOB Apapa Port. CFR. £34 per carton. CFR Apapa Port. Sorry, CFR Tilbury Port. Because my cost is no longer ending here under CFR, my cost extend to destination. My cost extend to destination. Tilbury Port in the UK. CFR. Sorry, £34 per carton. CFR Tilbury Port. £34 per carton. CFR Tilbury Port. For CIF now, which is CFR Plus Insurance, £35 per carton. CIF Tilbury Port. £35 per carton. CIF Tilbury Port. £35 per carton. CIF Tilbury Port. What's interesting about this is the fact that as we progress, our price is changing. As we progress in the Incoterm, our price is changing. And it's very important we understand these changes in price. And that changes in price is what we are actually interested in. Demonstrating how your cost of business in export can be changing based on the contract you are signing, and knowing also the implication of some of those contract, trade rules, and the like. Knowing the implication of some of those contract, trade rules, and the like. And this is extremely important. Extremely important. Extremely important. So tonight we have looked at XWorks, we have looked at FCA, we have looked at FAS, we have looked at FOB, we have looked at CFR, we have looked at CIF. Tomorrow we will deal with the remaining 5 in the morning, and that will be part 8, export costing and pricing, part 8. Like I said, I'm hoping we'll be able to round up at part 10 for this, so we can start something else. Export costing and pricing, part 8. Soji Joluba. Thank you very much for joining. You join us towards the end. I mean, the video is still available there on the timeline for you to listen to afterwards. My name remains Dila Imibo, and this is Import-Export platform brought to you by 3D Import Trade Academy. It's Facebook Live. We come to you every week, Monday to Friday. We have a very regular time, Monday to Friday. Morning, 7 a.m., evening, 6 p.m. On weekends, not so regular because of other activities and other engagement. But we will try to ensure every weekend we have 2 sessions. Like this today now, we had the first session around 1 or to 2. And we had the second session now, we are having it around 9. I think it's 9, yeah, past 9. And that's the way it's going to be. That's the way it's going to be. We're committed to this. And if you have any question, please feel free, like Agini, I think it's Agini or something like that, chatted me, and of course he called me, and we already discussed. I hope to see him in the course of the week. Thank you very much for listening. Let's keep the conversation going on Facebook page, my timeline. See you tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Bye for now, and good night.